Good afternoon, it's the CryoLady. So here I am in not so sunny Torquay. Do you know what? I kind of fancy it's turned a bit chilly, so I'm going to come out, start up. Dot away, don't you? I've just been loading loads of videos onto no, I didn't want you. That's the one I wanted. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Just stuff, really. Right, let's get into this. So, I am 59. I turned 59 this year, I'm going to be 60 next year. And my husband, Phil, he is 40. He's turned 40 this year. So, there is a 19-year age gap between us. So, I don't think I'm a cougar. I don't think I look like a cougar. That's a big sandy coloured cat that lives in the mountains of the Americas in various places. But I don't live there, so I'm not a cat. I'm not a big cat either. But anyway, so let's get into that. What is that like? What is that like, being married to someone that's 19 years younger than you? And what do you think people's attitudes are? Well, in all honesty, when I met Phil, I went out on a date with him. We met up actually in Exeter. And I ain't gonna lie, but Phil was married at the time. I wasn't, right? I wasn't married. I didn't really look, in all honesty, I don't think Phil will mind me saying this. I personally was not looking for a serious relationship. Now, why? Why wasn't I? Well, you know, I left my husband in 2006. I mean, he was like a couple of years older than me, you know, so we were sort of round about the same kind of age. Anyway, that didn't work out because he was just a big dumpling, really. But anyway, it took me quite a while to work through all the crap that I'd been through, not to mention the fact that I had 5 children. So, you know, I wanted to concentrate on bringing my children up, really. I didn't want to, and whilst, you know, I didn't mind going out on the odd date here and there, that sort of routine, I didn't want to get embroiled in a long-term relationship with somebody. I wasn't interested. And the other thing as well is obviously I was very wary of getting into a bad relationship with someone, because here's the thing, right? A lot of people will stay with somebody because they don't want to be on their own, and they would rather have a bad relationship than no relationship. And that's why, in all honesty, I was, you know, you hear it a lot from people these days, very sadly, but I was, you know, I was in a very abusive relationship with my ex-husband, so all the more reason for not wanting to run in to another one. And here's the thing as well, when I dated, I've met 1 or 2 people who were very sus, you know. So it's a minefield. It's a minefield for men, it's a minefield for women. There's lots that you have to think about. Anyway, so long story short, I went out for a date, and in all honesty, I knew he was married, so actually, you know, that suited me because I didn't really want the hassle of someone putting pressure on me. The other thing as well was that actually it took me a long time to work through this. I was actually happy with myself. I didn't rely on anybody else for my happiness. And that's another thing with being in relationships. You know, people rely on other people for their happiness. That's what they think. They think that's the only place their happiness can come from. But, you know, I'd moved past all of that. So, do you know what? I was very happy with my own company. Very happy with my own company. And in all honesty, as well, I'll tell you this, sometimes I just used to go out on dates with people because I thought they were funny and it would just be very entertaining. And then I'd write about it, not to anyone else, just to myself, so I could maybe read it back and laugh my head off. But anyway, so yeah, Phil, he was married at the time. We met up, it was alright and everything else. He was quite an entertaining, but very out of the box. Not my normal sort of person that I would go for. Not at all, you know? Anyway, I wasn't looking for anyone that was younger than me or anyone that was older than me. You know, I didn't know. Anyway, we'll say that Phil was definitely not the sort of average person that I might go for. Anyway, long story short, he divorced his wife, and you know, the rest is history, so to speak. We've been married for 8 years. We've been together for 11 years now. I actually met him when he was 29. No, people don't. People don't normally say anything. No one has really said anything directly to my face. The only problem that we've ever had is one of the neighbours. She's a nosy old bag, and for some reason, her and Sausage got into a bit of a collab together. She just became very obsessed. I mean, Sausage is quite obsessed with us, as is a batty old bag. She's particularly obsessed with us to the point where she was going through our bins, being obnoxious, and this, you know, we'd only actually ever been really helpful to her, helped her out and all sorts of things. In fact, one time she fell down and cut her head open. We gave her first aid and stayed with her until her son arrived. And her son, you know, we told her son's kind of like one of those, you know, he's quite a large gentleman. He's a northerner, and so he's what you call grockle, and she's a grockle as well. But he's always been, you know, there's always been an underlying air of aggression about him. I mean, Phil's a lot younger than him. Could knock him on his arse, really, to be honest with you, at any point. But yeah, he made some snide comments, but, you know, I mean, he can barely get out of his car without a hoist. He's so big. But, and I mean, that's saying something because I'm fat, but, you know, he's just like a pig, actually. A pig on... And when he's in a car, he's a pig on wheels. But yeah, no, I've not really had any problems with it at all. The thing is with Phil is he's a very different person to me in some ways. I mean, we both have a kind of similar sense of humour, but he's a man, you know, you find a lot of men, when they have a sense of humour, tends to revolve around people's private parts, you know, and I'm not like that. But Phil is a very intelligent. Phil's a very intelligent guy. He's just a massive underachiever, you know. He certainly didn't. I don't know. He's never flexed his brain to its full potential. I guess you could put it like that. Anyway, so that's that. Yes, age gap marriage, age gap relationships. What do you think of that then, eh? Let me know in the comments. 2, 1, bingo!